Shakespeare said through one of his characters, all the world's the stage and we're merely players. And so the opportunity is in the part, first the part you're given to play, and then the part that you choose to play. And I think it's no coincidence that early in my life, I got drawn to drama and the play. And I played some of the classics. I played Lenny in Of Mice and Men, who's the mentally challenged guy. And it's a beautiful story. And I gave my interpretation of this character. And the director directed me based on his vision of the character. This, like any play, the play has been done, thousands of times with different actors and different directors. And it's a classic, just like the archetypes for humanity. Are you the fool? Are you the king? Are you the magician? Are you the scientist? Are you the soldier? Are you the father? Are you the son? All these roles have something different to teach us. And every role that I played as an actor, I learned something more. I learned something more about myself, and I learned something more about my fellow human beings, and I learned something more about human nature. But it would have been foolish for me to think that I am Lenny, and then to go on after the play being Lenny. It was just something that I got an opportunity to play for a period of time to learn from. At some point as an actor, I got a little frustrated with directors telling me how to be and telling me what it was about, because I had my own vision as to what the play was about and what the characters were about. So I started directing. And it was so liberating because I was no longer stuck in the role of just being an actor. I get to have the overview, and I get to tell the other actors and share with them, but also because I had been an actor, to also invite them to bring their creativity to what they felt the character was about, because I knew it would enrich the play. But then I started feeling a little bit limited by the classics and by other playwrights to tell the whole story. And I thought, well, I have stories to tell too. So I practiced writing plays. And I created the characters. And then I could not only, I wrote it, but I also directed it. And also I could freely act in it if I wanted to, and jump out if I wanted to. So, and then I went on to become a Kung Fu teacher, I decided. But I kept, in a way, acting and directing and writing. But anyways, this whole thing to me is a metaphor of the walk into freedom.
Yes.
I mean, life assigned me certain roles. I played them the best that I could. I learned a lot from the roles. Then later I got outside myself a little bit and began directing how I wanted to be, until I discovered, you know what? I could just write this whole thing. I'm actually free to be anything I want to be, write any character I want to, and I'm not stuck by anything. And when that plays over, I can just take up my pen again and write another one. For the universe gave me this possibility.
Yes.
And it's hard when you get stuck believing that you are the character. But necessary to the lessons you need to learn. I would submit that the people stay within the role because they need to learn it. In other words, the abuser and the abused draw into each other like magnets. And they do that play until one of them or both of them realize, I can't play this anymore. I'm not going to be the victim anymore in the case of the abused. And I better look at myself and stop abusing people in the case of the abuser.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one of the lessons that the universe offers. And we can stand outside of it and say, you need to get out of this relationship. But until that person themselves says, I need to get out of this relationship, they won't exit. Just like until the drug addict says, I can't shoot up another time, or the alcoholic says, I can't take another drink, they won't exit because they haven't hit their bottom, which means I haven't learned that lesson by which I don't need to learn this lesson anymore. I'm ready to be free of this character.
Yes.
So in that way, the whole universe is conspiring towards liberation. But with liberation as a possibility comes oppression. And the stimulation of awareness to overthrow the worst oppressor, which is when you conspire to oppress yourself. And that the realization that I don't have to anymore. And I can walk free. Somebody else is not holding the key. The key's in my pocket, but guess what? The door's open. Just walk out.